Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question asks if I can analyze the Ellen Degeneres apology video that was released in September of 2020. Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoy this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. So I've covered this controversy surrounding Ellen Degeneres before in a video where I talked about her background and then moved into kind of all the details about the allegations. So here I'll just briefly cover what happened and then move to the apology video component. Ellen has her own TV show, The Ellen Degeneres Show. She has been the target of a number of allegations that essentially make the argument that she doesn't live up to the image she has promoted, the so-called be kind image. She's been accused of not saying hi or thank you to people, being mean, complaining that people don't smell too great, employing a producer who made racist remarks, firing an employee because they received mental health treatment, and acting self-centered in general. So to boil it all down, hypocrisy and a toxic work environment. During the first monologue of season 18 of her show, she apologized to her audience. Now, the audience directly in front of her was really a bunch of TV screens, like a virtual audience. She said she pictured them smelling good, which I found curious based on the allegations that were made about how she complained about another person who allegedly didn't smell too good. So perhaps not the best choice of words there. So let's go through this apology. She talks about the fact that the allegations were made. She says she's sorry. She talked about how she's in this position of power. She takes responsibility. Then she mentions how her name is on a bunch of different items, including underwear. After this, she switches from the first person singular to the first person plural when she says, "We have made changes." This may not mean anything, but I found it interesting that she moved from I to we. Then she directly addresses this whole hypocrisy issue, accurately noting that one of the concerns that people have with her is that she presented herself as the be kind lady, as she put it. She offers her rationale for why she took this stance in the first place, like what led to her developing this philosophy on kindness. But then she encouraged anyone who is considering a name change to the Be Kind Lady not to go with this change, implying it is difficult to maintain that balance and it is an unfortunate position to be in. I think here she's kind of spreading the responsibility over a wider number of people, kind of like saying, don't take on this name because one cannot live up to this ideal, when the reality is that in this specific instance, she didn't live up to this ideal. She's really saying no one can do it, when what she means to say is, I couldn't do it. She doubles down on the be kind lady strategy. She claims that she is that person, that she is truly kind. At the same time, she is many other people. She's sad, mad, frustrated, impatient, a work in progress. She noted that she's not a good enough actress to fool her audience for all these years, implying her audience should believe that the person they see is really her, right? So she, again, is truly a kind person. She then talks about how she's in charge of 270 people. She says the world is a disaster and she's just trying to offer 1 hour of happiness and joy. She wraps up by announcing the promotion of her DJ to co-executive producer of her show. So here are my thoughts on this apology video. When I first saw that a video came up, I thought to myself, this is going to be very polished. I didn't know she had 270 people working for her, but I thought there probably were a good number there, right? Maybe like 100 or 150. So I knew that she had a lot of people to bounce ideas off of. She could get feedback, she could change things a little bit, kind of tune in the apology and make it as effective as possible. And yet, the video that she put up is all she could deliver. This is the best she could do, even though she had all the time in the world to contemplate the issue and prepare a statement. Maybe she fired the apology writer in that process, I don't know. Some of this apology I think is fine, but certain areas really didn't work too well. I'll start with the negative feedback and then I'll cover what I thought she did well. The biggest problem I have with this apology video is that Ellen wanted to retain the be kind lady status. while simultaneously wanting to add a few other personas like the be angry lady, the be frustrated lady, the be impatient lady. So essentially she's got this whole brand of be something ladies. People can fill in whatever emotion they want in there, or she can fill it in. The difficulty is, I don't think this is how it works. Being kind is not consistent with being angry. Yes, there are going to be mood states. She's right about that. People have a number of facets. One person can have a number of different emotions and feelings, but she's saying that being kind is her brand. More correctly, after this apology, maybe she should switch her brand to something like be kind some of the time, be sort of kind, be an approximation of kindness. Those don't really have the same ring to them. I had a feeling that Ellen was not going to back away from the be kind image. She could have just said, look, I'm kind of a regular person who happened to become popular. I'm not particularly good at being kind, but I thought it sounded catchy. Like backing away from that image a little bit. Instead, as I mentioned, she doubled down. She is the be kind lady in addition to all these contradictory positions that she maintains simultaneously. She also could have said something like, look, being kind is important, so go ahead and do it. I recommend it. But I don't think that's necessarily how I am all the time. Now, that's not a particularly satisfying apology, but it's not a whole lot worse than what she did here. Another strategy would be if she came out and said, look, I completely failed at maintaining the be kind image that I promoted. I have to start over and develop into a better person from scratch. Now, in a way, she did touch on some of that, like she said she's going to try to improve. Another shortcoming was the lack of specifics. Now, I know she couldn't spend like several hours going through all the allegations because there are quite a few, but it would be nice to have her offer some specifics about what she was actually going to change. For example, how is she working on herself? Is she going to therapy? Is there self-reflection? If she really was mean to all those people and she really wants to be kind now, that's a large amount of space to cover. That's a lot of change. This apology makes it seem like she's flipping on a light switch or tying a shoe. She didn't acknowledge an appreciation for how drastic a shift that would be in somebody's personality. Also, how is she improving the culture of the organization? Are there now regular meetings where people can voice their opinions? There's just no detail here. Without specifics, the apology seems a little bit insincere. Like, oh yeah, I acknowledge the problem, it's going to be fixed. Now let's put this behind us. Good talk. Just seems glib and flippant. Now, I did like a few things about her apology. She acknowledged the problem at the beginning of the show. I thought that was good. She said she was sorry. She got that in early on. She didn't blame the people who were making the allegations. She mostly accepted responsibility. For example, she didn't say that she was innocent. Even with these good points in mind, overall, I didn't really think this was a good apology. She didn't want to cede any ground. She held on to the be kind position and the leadership role. At the same time, she wanted people to understand her negative traits, and she briefly brought up how bad things were in the world, which seemed like a distraction technique more than anything. Ellen may be humorous, but she won't be getting any work writing apologies. Asking Ellen to write you an apology is like taking swimming classes from a rock. For Ellen, this apology was a missed opportunity, and now she's even more wrapped up in this identity of kindness. So there's going to be a lot of scrutiny, and she's going to have to behave in a specific manner. She's kind of boxed herself in. A better strategy would have been to create some distance from the construct of kindness or fully acknowledge that she is contemplating a dramatic transformation. Now, with all this in mind, I think that Ellen is still going to bounce back from all this without any problems. A less than ideal apology or not, if she actually makes changes and her staff is satisfied, I think she'll recover without any difficulty. It's important to remember that a bad apology doesn't mean that the person apologizing isn't actually sorry, and it doesn't mean they're going to fail to make a change. Similarly, Ellen could be insincere and still make all the necessary adjustments to treat her staff properly. If she is insincere and not willing to change personally, she will probably do a better job hiding it from now on. Those are my thoughts on the Ellen Degeneres apology video. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be interesting. Thanks for watching. Asking Ellen to write an apology for you is like asking Nicolas Cage to recommend a good movie. That one seems a little bit mean. It's like asking Bernie Madoff for investment tips. It's like asking Ted Bundy for dating advice. It's like asking Ted Kaczynski to mail a letter for you. It's like taking acting lessons from Ben Affleck. That one seems a little mean too. He's not a terrible actor. Well, I guess that one's okay.